We all know that during October, it is one of the best times for topwater. But what time during the day is it the best time to throw a buzzbait? Oh man, you might be surprised. I think you'll really be surprised at when the best time during the day it is to throw a buzzbait. Now this may be different if you're not on a lake like I'm on. It's ultra clear. The bass move a little bit differently. It's super steep, super deep. I mean, you can see by the hillsides here beside of me. I mean, those are straight up and down. If you're in a dirtier lake or a flatter lake, it might be a little bit different, but it's something that you might want to pay attention to. And we'll talk about that in a minute. First, I want to show you one of my favorite. It is a very adjustable, can do it all sort of buzzbait that's different than about any other buzzbait you've ever thrown. Now, like I said, geeks, you're going to be real surprised when I talk to you about what time of day I think is best to throw a buzzbait. But first, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite buzzbaits to throw. And why I like to throw this buzzbait is that it's extremely versatile. If I need it to be silent, not a lot of clack, not a lot of action like that, because I'm in some dead slick calm. It's rained all day on us, and now of course it's going to quit. But if it does rain, we got a good downpour going, I can simply bend this down a little bit, and all of a sudden I've got a clacking buzzbait because it's hitting that head and making a little extra noise to help those bass pinpoint or come up out of those brush piles. What else I like about this buzzbait is it's got a flat head. And what's great about that flat head, it makes a great kill. So it helps this bait get up quickly when you're casting. And that's one of the keys. You want your buzzbait not to dip into the water. We'll talk about some ways on your cast to keep that from happening, but you want that buzzbait starting as soon as it hits the water, because a lot of times within the first few turns of the reel handle is when you're going to get clogged. Now, let's talk about the hairy buzzer. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Now, something that I like is that you can take and put like a swim bait, or my two favorites for this buzzbait, a swim bait, or my very favorite is a grub, because you get that tail spinning. And what that does is it pushes this hair out even bigger, and it makes it a little more poofy, so it looks like a big shad coming through the water. You want to keep it a little more subtle. Don't put a trailer on it at all. This thing is going to compact down. It's going to look like a nice little shad just coming through the water for the bass to eat. And up here, that's what we want right now, because they're chasing those 2 and 3 inch shad in the water that have just strayed away from those schools. So as far as colors go, they've got a few different colors, but realistically the two colors that I'm going to use 90% of the time is black and of course this white right here. All right, geeks, so now we're getting ready to tie this on. And one thing I'll tell you, again, if I'm in dirtier water, shallow water, heavier cover, running it over top of grass or heavy brush, that's when I'm going to push this arm down so that I get that clack out of it. It's an incredible sound that you can hear right here. Now, any other time though, for me, most of the time, I'm going to bend it up just a little bit so that we get that good silent turn out of it. But it still makes an incredible plopping action. All right, geeks, so we're just going to tie a pitsine knot on this. Quick and easy. Come through the top. After 5 twists, cinch it down, moisten, and cinch it all the way down. Cut the tag in. We're ready to go. All right, kayak anglers, I've got something for you. I know a lot of you are looking for the right size battery, one that's not going to take up a lot of space, one that's going to have a ton of power. Well, I've got the battery from Ionic. I have been running this battery for my live scope. It's a 16 volt, 52 amp hour battery. So it's going to do you right. It also comes with a charger, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, I have been running the charger. I mean, my boat is full of ionic batteries, and I've been running those for about 3 years now. This boat sits in a carport covered, so hot, cold, and I haven't had the first problem out of them. Now, what's great about this battery, it's not a big square or rectangular battery. It is actually designed to fit in one of my rod lockers. So it's very small, mounts to the side, or lays down and mounts perfectly in a kayak, tin boat, or a rod locker of a bass boat. So you might want to go check it out. I've got one of the best discount codes right here, 10% off. Love no BassGeek sent you. All right, geeks, so you all have heard me talk about this a lot. This is a 7'3". I know a lot of people like to use a shorter rod, and if you're target fishing with one of these, I heavily advise you use a shorter rod, a 7 foot. I wouldn't go below 7. I use a 7'3", and I'll show you when we're fishing it so that I can get a little bit of lift out of the rod tip and get the buzzbait going a little bit quicker. But this is a Fitzgerald Versa. So this is a 7'3", medium heavy, fast action rod, but it's got a great tip on it. It's got the micro guides on there to help me make a longer cast. Just a great rod. I love the Versa series from Fitzgerald. I've got this teamed up with, when I fell in the lake years ago, I lost my buzzbait reel, and one of you awesome geeks sent me this. This is an 8-1. I love a fast. This is the old Tatula. Now, I will put links in the description for everything in this video. And by the way, you know, we don't do Patreon or memberships or stuff like that because we want to include all of you geeks. So if you want to really help the channel out, you want to support the channel, hey, make sure you go down in that description. If you're going to make a tackle warehouse order, bookmark that on your computer, your Mac, whatever, or scan this code and bookmark it on your mobile device, your phone, or whatever tablet you might be using. And when you decide you want to go pick up some new baits, just use that. It won't cost you a dime extra, but it does help us out. Again, this is a Daiwa Tatula, and it is an 8-1-1. The thing about a buzzbait, you don't want to work it too fast because you'll blow it out, but you want to get it started quick. So that's why I like an 8. You might start out with a 7-5-1. Now, I've got this teamed 30-pound K9 casting braid, and then I keep a leader, generally 8 to 15 feet of 14-pound monofilament. That way, in these ultra clear lakes, they don't see it coming. Now, I do have a discount code for K9 right here. Make sure you go check them out. And let me tell you, they got something coming. I got my hands on it today. It's amazing. All right, geeks, so I'm not going to cover everything about how to tune a buzzbait. I've got an incredible video, if you stay till the end, that will show you, I mean, in depth, how to tune a buzzbait. A lot of other information in that video, but I'm telling you, you need to go check that one out. Now, when I'm fishing this, and the time of day that I want to fish this, now we've got a little bit of overcast today, but it seems like first thing in the morning in this clear lake that I fish, they're out here, they're feeding, especially right now, it's a full moon. You know, we're right in the middle of it. And so they're out here in the middle and they're pushing shad up on flats and road beds and that sort of stuff, right? Really in feed mode. But as the day goes on, as the sun comes out, what happens is they run into places like right here behind me, these logs, these laydowns, these brush piles, and they'll sit right on top of them. So they're not digging down in there good and deep. They're sitting out there on top of them waiting for something to come along. Now, not all logs or brush piles are created equal. So one of the things you want to do is make sure you make several casts at several directions at these laydowns. Now, one of the things that I like is, of course, my forward-facing sonar. So I can go down through here and I can look and I can see exactly where these bass are setting up, and I can run this buzzbait right across and get a reaction out of them. One of the tips when you're making the cast that I always say, stop it before it hits the water lift your rod tip to get it started so it doesn't sink down. You're not losing a foot or two. Get that buzzbait started early, and then make sure you're reeling it as slowly as you possibly can. Because a lot of times what these bass are going to do, especially in these clear lakes, maybe not so much, they're only coming from a foot or two from if you're in dirtier water, but in these clear lakes, they're going to come from 10, 15, 20 feet up when they hear that buzzbait chugging their way. I always talk about, and listen, I'm one of the world's worst, especially in the early morning, but we're talking about in the evening now, okay? Midday and later, about swinging a little too early on a buzzbait, the first buzzbait explosion I get, because a buzzbait explosion is exactly that. It's an explosion. They hit these things very violently. And the advice that I can give to you, I'm not going to give you a 1, 2, set the hook or counting. I'm going to give you the same advice that I'd give you for a swim bait. You know, I always tell you don't swing until you feel the weight of the fish. And it's the same exact thing. Just keep reeling just like you were. Boosh! Keep reeling, you feel, you set. That's the key to a buzzbait bite and catching more and hooking up with more buzzbait bass. And I never throw a trailer. You can throw a trailer, it's not a big deal. But if you just do that right there, you will land so many more big bass. And I always call this the jig of the topwater world, because this is going to catch big bass 90% of the time, or the bigger standard of bass or class of bass that's on your lake, pond, or stream. And that's why I like throwing them. Most of the time you're not going to get a lot of bites on them, but you're going to get the right bites when it comes to a buzzbait. Now, when it comes to getting those bass to the boat, always hope you got a good net man. If you don't, good thing is good strong hook on these big daddy baits, hairy buzzers. Boat hop them in or get down there and grab them with your thumb. Any which way in the world will work. Just have fun, man, because there is no better bite than an October buzzbait bite. All right, geeks, so you want to make sure you go check out Big Daddy's hairy buzzer. And, you know, he's a small company too, man. Just him and a couple other guys that work to do this. Otherwise, if you want to learn a little more about how to tune a buzzbait, you really need to go watch this video right here. Questions, comment in the comment section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell. Be part of the 100% Watch Squad. Hey, geeks, share our videos out if you really like them, because we want to get to that 100K. And you, the 100% Watch Squad, are the ones that'll help us get there. And you geeks rock.